Well, it's a cold, windy day here. I seem to have been having quite a busy week or so, or 2 weeks with my Ceed, which is unusual. Today I'm actually going to change the oil, so that's pretty straightforward. I've just taken the car for a quick drive, pop the cover off, then I'm going to have to get a big socket to undo the filter. It's a paper filter. I've actually just ordered some new ones. I got some spare ones off eBay. It was 3 for £10, so I'll show you those. They are slightly different than the one that I had before, which was a Crossland filter, but I shall show you that. I've still got a bit of a slow start syndrome going on with the car. I'm not sure exactly what that is, if it's air or glow plugs, but my next task after the oil change at some point will be to get in behind here and do a test of the glow plugs. But anyway, next thing is obviously you've got to undo this for the filter, and then let's get down, have a look under here. There's a hole there at the back. That's where you get access to the oil plug. So I'm going to jack it up on the driver's side. That'll give me enough space to crawl under, and I'll get the camera in and show you. It's a bit chilly down here. We are underneath the car, so you'll see there's the under tray. Obviously there's an under tray there, and here is a 17mm nut. So I've just slackened that, so that'll come out easily with my finger. I'm going to get a drip tray and let all that pour in. But before I do that, I'll undo the filter housing. So obviously you'll probably see it more like that. I'm lying upside down under the car, and that's what you'll see from the front. One thing you might not have in your standard toolkit, and that's a 27mm socket which fits on the filter housing. I only use this once every blue moon when I change my oil filter. I never use a 27mm socket for anything else as far as I'm aware. So as you see, it's coming off in a winner. I'm just going to go and get the box. I'm going to put it in the box and hopefully minimise the amount of oil that's going to come off it. I've cheated slightly. I've used a plastic bag. So this oil filter, I should say, gets pushed onto that shaft, and the things that need to be done is you need to replace the O-ring here and the O-ring at that end. So I'm going to pull this off. Now I've got two different oil filters. This is the latest one I've bought from eBay, and this was the one I've used previously from my last oil change. So the Crossland filter, should really have prepared this. So as you'll see, it's got the two O-rings with it. Now it's flat at both ends. This one is actually raised. The O-rings are in the box. So you'll see it's raised there at the ends. So looking at that, the paper filter part is longer, but the actual filter length is the same. So they've reduced a bit of the filtration by adding this on. So anyway, I'm going to fit this one and see how it goes. But I can see the hole's different, so it might not work. I might have to send these back. Right, so that's that oil filter removed. So you'll see there's an O-ring, a seal, so that needs to be taken off and replaced with the new one. And there's one at the top there, that one has to be pulled off. So just get a pick and take them off. It should come off quite easily, and then you're going to put your new ones on. That's the new filter, that's the one there. I've just kept the Crossland one. Actually this stretches, so it moves out to the same size of orifice as this. So that was the old O-ring that goes on there. You see the O-ring there? That's the new one. And that's the old one that came off here. I just use a small flat bladed screwdriver, and I just go in sort of diagonally and then hook it out and then go round. Comes off. Same with this, but if you've got an actual hook, that'd be a lot easier. So that's that done. You should really clean out all that excess oil, but I'm not going to be that pernickety about it, because there's going to be other oil in the engine anyway. But by all means, clean all this out and get it as spotless as you can, but I'm not going to bother. Right, so that's that slipped in. You kind of have to push this radiator hose slightly to the side. I'm just putting it in hand tight first, just to make sure it's not cross-threaded or anything. You'll find it goes in quite easily, and then at the point it starts to touch the O-ring, it'll get tighter, or it does in my case. I've got to hopefully change the ratchet now. Remember, it's just a plastic thread, so don't go too wild with it. And then that feels quite secure. It looks flush. That's fine. So I should have taken this cap off originally just to help it go down. So next thing is, I've got a new washer that came with this filter. I'll take the old washer off here, I'll clean that sump plug up, I'll put the new washer on. Right, so time to shuffle under the car. I've actually already put the I'll just move the container. So I've already put the 17mm sump bolt in. So I get the socket on. They do say that blokes are not so good at multitasking compared to women, and I'm definitely not an exception. So, well, I managed to press something there and it stopped recording. So anyway, that's that nipped up. Make sure that's okay. Oil's still there. I'll just so what I do is, because the sump bolt is on this side of the engine, I just simply jack it up underneath, and I've got a jack stand just in case anything happens, and for double safety I even put a bit of wood under that wheel, which shouldn't really be doing anything anyway. So safety first, always remember that. Oil I'm using, just fully synthetic 5W30. I'm pretty sure that's what was in it already. This was the oil filter I used. It was 3 for £10 or £10.30 on eBay. There's the details if you need to see them. The one I used previously was a Crossland filter. that's handy. I'll need to see where I've put all the bits and bobs, the gubbins for that. So anyway, this is the one. I think these were something like a £5 each. So these ones are £3 odd each, so we'll see what the difference is. Might make no difference whatsoever. These might be hellish or might be better than those, I don't know. Right, well, I've topped up the engine oil with 5 litres of oil. It does have a capacity above 5. I think some sources suggest 6, but the last time I changed oil I put 6 in and it was way over on the dipstick, so I'm putting 5 in. I'll let it sit for a wee while. I'll check the dipstick and then I'll start the engine and see where it is after letting it sit again, obviously. Fired the engine up. Sounds nice, sounds decent. I'll let it settle and I'll double check the oil level, because obviously it has to go into the filter. I've just poured it straight in. If it needs any topping up, I'll do that later on. Well, I've left the car for about half an hour, 40 minutes. Let's just check the dipstick level. So it's just below the max, so the max is there on the left. So that looks good enough to me. I'm going to drive the car shortly anyway, so I'll do that and then I'll let it sit overnight and see how it is in the morning. But if you've got any questions, just let me ask. If you feel so inclined, please feel free to like and subscribe. Anyway, hope you're having a good day. And it's getting dark now, so definitely time for dinner. Well, here's the final check on the oil. There's the full mark, that dot, so it's just below it. So the other day it was definitely above it, but not anymore because it's been taken up by the oil filter. I'm actually also looking at a diesel leak. I've got air getting in, so that's in another video. Great fun. Anyway, any questions, just ask. It's a fairly simple job. You can probably change your oil in 15 or 20 minutes at the most. You need the 27mm socket, which is not that popular a size for anything else that I'm aware of, and then you got a 17mm bolt for the sump. So just get yourself a tray, fill it up with oil, and dispose of it sensibly, of course. Don't pour it down the drain. So anyway, that's it. If this is of any help, if you'd like to see more videos, please feel free to like and subscribe. I'll be signing off now on a chilly day.